It's December the 6th. It's Mitch Allen weekend. I'm at our front entrance, Deer Run Drive and US 1792. I'm here because we have a reclaimed water main being installed. And I just want to show the disrespect of these companies that come do this work. This is our front entrance, and they just drive their machines wherever they want. And I'm not saying we have a beautiful front entrance or anything. It's been destroyed by a number of different companies. But here where they run their equipment, breaking the irrigation, and they just track their machines wherever they want. More irrigation broke. And from what I know, this box right here is a telephone cross box. It's at the edge, probably on the back side of the road right-of-way of 1792. But so is all their pile of rock, white sand, and the concrete they take out, and the pile of dirt that's left over from when you dig ditches. Sometimes you end up with a lot of excess dirt. But they've dewatered and got this section put in down here. You can kind of see the purple pipe standing up out of the ground down there, which is a place where they can flush the line and have access to that water. But this is all private property back here. They have run their equipment everywhere. And I see they've been dumping the slurry from their horizontal drill. And from the road, I didn't realize they've been dumping it back here. So they have been dumping this for quite some time. And they're going to say, oh, it's just bentonite and water that's in their drilling slurry. But I promise you, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of additives that you can add to your horizontal drilling fluids in order to keep the hole open. They might call it stimulating the borehole. They call it a lot of things. But this is not a disposal site. And if you read the MSDS sheets on bentonite, there's statements that say do not allow it to enter surface water or subsurface water. And most of them say dispose of in an approved industrial disposal site, or wording that means basically that. But yeah, this is definitely their bentonite slurry, because I did this for a living for a couple years until I read up on it and learned that it wasn't such a nice product to be pumping into the ground. And this is total illegal dumping, and they have dumped a lot of it. Man, this is our front entrance, and you can see the damage they do. And maybe they're going to come back and fix all this, but the bentonite doesn't go away. You know, right now you step in that, it's slick. That's part of what it's used for, but it's used to get rid of the spoils, because you're drilling out a 6-inch hole and you're going to pull in a 16-inch pipe. In this case, that purple pipe across the street is 16-inch. So this gets the spoils out. But I also know that if you're drilling in really wet ground, which all of these bores are doing for this pipeline are through the wetlands. So they're pumping it in subsurface water at least. But they're coming back here dumping it. And we live over in the community over there. And they have no regard that we have private wells. And this is all permeating back in the ground. And again, we don't know what's really in it. We don't know what they drilled through. You know, if they drill through contamination areas where oils or anything has been, that's in the soils, or as they call them, spoils, that they're dumping out here. Yeah. And they've been dumping this everywhere. I mean, and it's running. I mean, I don't know how many loads they've dumped, but that pile of dirt right there is what comes out if they dump the tank and not just open the valve. But it's a dually truck that's pulling back here. Walk on over here, because they pulled back and dumped right there, and then came through and pulled through where they had dumped once before, because they've decided to start dumping over here. And this is illegal dumping. I mean, our front entrance is not a disposal site. It's not industrial. And this is all private property. And I really doubt that this owner knows that somebody's dumping on his property. Wow. Man. I don't even know what to say about these people that are doing this shit. Sorry for my French, but then they track it out across the road. And this is the other side of our entrance, where they've also done at least 2 dumps. And you see they just continue to tear up our front entrance. And they're using it as a turnaround. Both sides of the road are just worn out. It's killing the vegetation. We'll walk on over here, and they're leaving their wood and stuff behind. And I really doubt they're going to pick it up. This is another place where they had dumped. This black stuff is dried up bentonite, or whatever's in their slurry. But undoubtedly the white sand that was piled up over there that I showed in the first part of the video is how they cover up what they spilled. Or not spilled, but intentionally released. I noticed more of the irrigation for our front entrance broken up. And they undoubtedly come and drop some white sand on it and try to cover it up. But they had gone all the way back in here. Oh man, and I can feel the bentonite under my feet as I walk. And that little hole right there was caused from where they open the valve and it pours out. And that's all the wetland right over there. You know, that surface water that it's not supposed to be pumped into. And oh man, that's slick. I stepped right there and it moved. And it's where the bentonite is under there, and it's still, it stays slick. Here's another hole where they open the valve and it pours out. There's the tire track. I mean, God, man. Because the bentonite doesn't go away. It's a clay, but it's got any additives they've added or anything they run through in it. Wow. Yeah, and they undoubtedly dumped quite a bit there. And they think they can just store whatever they want at our front entrance and drive wherever they want, tearing up our roadsides. I mean, this had grass at one time. And that's their shoring box for when they're digging more than 4 feet deep to protect their men. Well, that'll be, don't use it too often, but this is the 16-inch pipe. 16-inch. The purple indicates reclaim. And they just been driving in and out of here like nothing else, with no regard that this people live here, man. We used to have a really nice front entrance that had, you know, the Florida palm trees or palmetto trees, the state tree. There were 3 more of them up here before the county required Watersong to put in this sidewalk, and they dug our 3 trees out from right here for no reason at all. And I just saw them back in there. They dug them out there, stuck them in the ground, but they died. And they're laying back there. But this is crazy. The disregard for where people live. What the hell happened to our world? What happened to respect? What happened to the golden rule? Sorry, I'm just very concerned about the way people treat each other and the way businesses that know better. They know they're not supposed to be dumping this shit here. But yeah, I mean, this was all grass. It was all vegetated. Yeah, and further on back is where I videoed them dewatering. And I think it was funny. Yeah, it's not funny at all, but it's kind of crazy how they have settlement bags or filtration bags on the pumps, except the one they set, or the two that they set in front of our subdivision. No filtration bag whatsoever. But in areas where you'll see it from the road, filtration bags. Down at the gated community, a filtration bag used. I'm not saying they were properly used, but they did at least put the bags on there to contain some of the settlements that you might pump up out of the ground that need to be contained. But in the area where they pump directly into the wetlands, no settlement bag. They pumped this out on the sandy soils, but ran a ditch over to where it ran into the creek that's over there right behind that stand of trees by that mailbox. That's a culvert that goes under the road. And they just let it pour straight in there with no settlement bags. Another illegal activity. Well, I guess I've shown what I can show. Y'all have a great day.